Hi guys, Ted here. I just want to let you guys know that we did a flash game today for A Song of Ice and Fire. It was based on the Shattered Kingdoms campaign, and I actually forgot to record the first 10 to 15 minutes, so I wanted to give an intro to it. Basically, this game is set a year and a half before Robert's Rebellion, and in the first scene, we start in King's Landing with three characters. One is Brit John, and he is a part of the kennel masters group, whatever, the people that take care of the kennels. And then there's Allyn, and Allyn is a Gaelor, and he is one of the people who keeps the black cells operational by fixing locks, hinges, things like that. And then the NPC that I play is Fern, and Fern is a courtesan and bard in the court of King Aerys Targaryen. And the players are Shurijo is playing Brit, and Aegor is playing Allyn, and like I said, myself is playing Fern as the NPC. Also, this game starts with the aftermath of King Aerys Targaryen and his brutality to his people. And they all know people who have been killed, and so they're afraid that they're going to be next. And so our beginning scene is them meeting in the seedy bar in Flea Bottom, deciding what they're going to do. And it seems like they want to leave the city, and they're trying to figure out how to do that. And this is an intro for that. And sorry about the Google Hangouts message there in front of me. Thanks.
Talk us out of trouble if we get in trouble anywhere.
Okay, then should we ask the lady who owns the tavern if she knows any caravans for sale?
Hmm. About it for a moment and then says, I think we shouldn't talk to anyone unless we have to. Until we get away from town.
But how will we get a caravan? Do you think we could leave and then buy it somewhere outside town?
Yeah.
So there are like small, this is a humongous city, so even outside the walls there are places to buy things. You could probably buy something outside the walls.
Okay.
But and it is like say 8 p.m. right now. So keep that in mind. And the further
So
you
how
get from King's Landing, the less there is to buy anything.
right. So how about we grab Fern and our equipment and then buy the wagon outside of town? That way we don't have to worry about getting the wagon through the gate.
I agree. Let's go. Let's be on our way.
Okay. So you all are you leaving Flea Bottom then and going home and collecting your stuff?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you all collect your goods, and um, in a couple hours you go to Fern's house, and Fern actually lives the closest to the castle, to Magor's Keep, but or the Red Keep, I guess. And so, um, it's there's gold cloaks that walk by. They don't pay any attention to you whatsoever. Nobody's gives you another look. Nobody's expecting you anywhere or know you're missing or anything like that. You find Fern inside with a fairly sizable trunk full of clothes and God knows what else. And he's like, "Do you have the wagon?"
No, we decided on buying one outside the city walls because going through the gate will probably cause some attention that we do not need right now.
He like sighs and he's like, "Well, should I drag this chest all the way through town?" He's like, "You'll have to help me carry it. It's heavy."
Okay.
Yep. Britt says, okay.
Like, okay, so he expects you two to pick it up because
Yeah.
he's
All right.
a very pampered person. And so are you just gonna head
Yep.
towards the
Britt
exit?
grabs one end of it and then looks over to Alan and says,
Yeah.
well, I guess we're going to be the muscle for this job.
Yeah. Okay. Alan grabs the other end.
Okay, so he peeks outside and he's like, "Okay, let's go." And the only thing he has in his hand is his loot. and he has a bowstring, right? So he can play it, and it's actually like a fiddle. But he heads towards the exit, and you start walking, and there's a few gold cloaks just standing around, and so what do you do? The gate's up. You can go in or out, but there's guards there, obviously.
We are standing with a huge trunk. That's suspicious. Allyn says, "Well, should we try? Can we walk around them?
No.
Like try to?"
No, you could go to other gates, but more than likely it's going to be the same thing, right? There's going to be gold cloaks on every gate.
Brit says, just act normal. We're not doing anything. Not doing anything wrong.
Okay, let's go.
Okay. So you start to head through, and you get almost outside the gate, and one of the gold cloaks goes, "Hey, what are you doing? What is that thing?" And he walks up to you. He's got a big halberd, and his gold, cape fluoros behind him as he walks to you. And he's like, "What's in that?" And like Fern's like, "Oh, just my clothes." Just like very stupidly.
Brit
And
nods. Say, yeah, that's his stuff.
he's like, "Well, why are you carrying a trunk full of clothes outside the city?" And he just like shakes his head.
Brit jumps in real quick and says, we're taking them so he can sell them outside.
Okay, so that sounds like deception. So I don't have your stats up, so I'm just letting you go with it, whatever your stats are. So if you go in the, you can
Okay,
use
it's 3.
It's 3. So if you want to roll like 3d6.
I
Okay.
want to assist him.
Yep. So what's your deception?
3. No, wait. I think, yeah, 3.
So 3d6 plus 1. Okay. So that's good. So the guard says, "Well, okay. Be careful out there. There's been a lot of people leaving the city lately." And he just like shakes his head. He's like, "I'll see you later." And he just like is done paying attention to you and lets you go through.
Yes,
Okay,
thank you for your
Brit
warning.
waves to him and just picks up the chest and keeps
Okay.
walking.
So you get probably about 50 yards away, and Fern shakes his head, and he's like, "Oh," he's like, "I almost shite my pants." And he's just like
Puts
starts
his
rubbing his face, and he's like, "I don't know if I can do this. Maybe I should just go back."
No,
There's no.
we'll be fine. We'll be fine. Just act normal.
Like, okay,
Just
okay.
relax.
And he's like super
You're
nervous,
gonna
obviously.
write a great song someday.
Okay. So you start getting outside of town a little bit, and there's you see a couple inns, and you actually do see a couple wagons sitting at an inn, but you don't see any place actually where you could like buy a wagon. So you could go into the inn or whatever you think you should do. What do you do?
Allyn says, I still think we should steal a wagon. It's not like we are coming back here. I don't think we should waste our gold on something we could easily acquire on different means.
Brit kind of shakes his head. He's like, how about we put the chest down over here and then you walk over and check out those wagons and come back and let us know.
You're talking
Okay.
to
To
Allyn?
Allyn.
Okay.
Yeah, he's like, Fern and I will wait over here. You go check it out to see how if there's any guards or if they're tied up somehow.
Yeah, Fern's like,
Okay,
"Yeah, you go check. You go check."
I will.
Hey,
Allyn
Allyn,
will try
you're sneaky, right? Do you have stealth or something?
yeah, 4 stealth.
Oh, good. Okay, yeah, you're the sneaky one then.
So
Yeah.
you're checking out what? Just like if there's anybody watching the wagons, that sort of thing?
Yeah. First, if there's anybody around, and then
Okay.
he'll try to sneak up and see
Okay.
if it's possible to.
So why don't you roll awareness or perception awareness, whatever that is. Awareness
Notice.
notice, yeah, awareness notice.
Oh wait.
It's slash roll, whatever.
Yep.
Ooh, nice.
Awareness is 4 and 1 bonus in notice.
5d6. Did that actually work? So
Well,
Yeah. 1 bonus and keep 4.
oh, I see. Yeah. Okay.
oh wow, that did work. That's nice.
Okay. All right. So you peek over there towards and you easily spot this stable hand, and he's just looks miserable. He's got a pitchfork and he's just shoveling straw and shit, you know. And he doesn't notice you walking towards him. He's got his head down, just doing his work. But there is a dude over by the wagons because the wagons are basically parked next to the stable.
But that
Yeah,
one guy is the only guy.
That's the only guy you see outside the inn currently.
How old is he?
Your age, 20s, early 20s.
Oh. Then he'll try to sneak up to him.
Okay.
And knockout attack.
Okay. Go ahead and roll your sneak.
That's the same as this. So.
Okay. Okay. So his passive awareness is we'll say 12. So you sneak up to him and then you take the hilt of your dagger and bonk him just right in the base of the neck, and he just like crumples, just falls straight down, doesn't make a peep, just falls right into the shit.
Cool. Then Allyn will stand up and just whistle like to Brit and Fern.
Brit listens. Oh,
Fern's like, what just happened? What happened?
It's like grab the other end of the chest and let's go.
All right. He grabs the other end of the chest, and it's like going like this because he's so weak.
Hurry up, let's go.
And he's like struggling, grabs it with two hands, finally gets it up there, and he's like, all right, back in. And you guys slide it into the back of the wagon. And there's two actual real prior roundsies tied up to the wagon. So
Brit jumps in front and takes the reins and gets the horses moving.
Okay.
As fast as possible with the least amount of noise.
So you unhitch the wagons. Brit doesn't have drive, does he?
No, he has no.
He
no
just
drive.
has just normal animal handling, the 4 or something like that.
Yep, 4.
Okay. Why don't you go ahead and roll that?
You have assist +1 from Allyn. Is it possible?
Yeah, if you have 2 animal handling, it'd be +1.
So is it +1 then?
What's that?
Is it a +1 for his?
Yep. So 4d6 +1. Okay. So he gets the horses untied from their post and gets everything situated, and he starts pulling off with the wagon. You start heading down the road away from the inn.
After we get going for a bit, Brit turns around to Allyn and Fern and says, check in the back, make sure there's nothing in the back that they'll end up coming after us.
Okay, Fern's like, you do it, you do it.
I'm driving, I can't do it.
Oh, he's talking to Allyn.
Oh.
Allyn will say, oh, man up, Fern, come on. And just open the, look around, look outside.
So it's you like pull back the it's like a covered wagon. So you pull back and you look in there, and there's like probably six crates of something in there, but it's got like a lid on it, so you don't know what it is.
Oh, he would jump in and starts opening crates.
So you open it, and it is every single crate is filled with Dornish red wine. And Fern goes, he's like, oh my God. He's like, they're going to come after us for sure, because that's very expensive wine. And so you just, basically, you probably have like 300 or 400 gold worth of wine in the back of this wagon.
Allyn just smiles and pops one bottle open.
So you pop a bottle open and start drinking it, and it's good. It's the best wine you've ever had by far.
Brit turns around and is like, "What's going on back there?"
Fern's like, we just stole a bunch of Dornish red. He's like, He's like, get these horses going. They're coming.
Okay, Brit speeds him up a little bit more.
Do you want a bottle, Brit?
No, I'm driving.
Safety first. So,
Okay.
yeah, go ahead. All right, so you're going down the road, and probably for an hour, nothing happens. And it's getting late now. It's probably 11 p.m. something like that. And so it's really dark and hard to see, and you have no torches with you, and so make another animal handling check, Brit.
With an assist?
Yeah. Okay. So even though you are really straining to see the road, as it's getting narrower and narrower the further you get from King's Landing. So you keep the wagon on the road, and you can keep going. So right
is it
now,
moonlight or is it?
Yeah, it's partial moon. We'll say half moon, something like that.
Okay.
But it's still kind of hard to see. And you notice up ahead there's you see a lamp light, and you guys aren't big travelers out of King's Landing, so you're not exactly sure what that lamplight is. It doesn't seem to be moving, and it seems to be elevated into the air.
Brit calls out. It's like, look up ahead. There's a light.
What is it?
Might be an inn.
Oh, do we want to stop? I mean, I don't see a reason why we should stop at an inn.
It's getting dark. We won't be able to ride. Won't be able to ride much longer. Won't be able to see. We'll need to stop and get some torches or a lantern or something.
Okay, you're the driver.
Okay. So you head towards the light, and the closer you get, you realize it's not an inn. It's a small tower. It's a sentry tower. And so
slow down the horses.
So you slow down the horses as soon as you realize it. Are you going to turn around?
Yeah, turn them around and go not towards the tower.
Okay.
Wait. I have an idea, Allyn will say.
Okay.
We can... That's probably soldiers, right?
Yeah.
We can just... I don't know who is the lord of this area, but we can just give them a crate of wine and say it's a gift from whoever's in charge of guards or their guard, and continue onwards. They wouldn't know, probably.
How far would we have to go off road to get around the tower? Is this on the road? The tower's on the road?
Yeah, it's the side of the road. You're not sure.
Okay.
I mean, it would probably take you at least a couple hours, and you're not sure if the wagon would actually make it, right? Because you don't know actually if is it flat, is it, because you don't really travel outside King's Landing really at all. Brit does some actually to hunt, but not this way.
Right.
He would go into the King's Woods, which is not in this area.
Okay. How do we handle out of character questions? Like,
you can
if
just
I wanted
ask
to
me.
ask.
You just ask me.
I'm trying to figure out who's got the best deception. I mean, Brit has 3. I would imagine Fern might have higher, or would Allyn have higher?
Fern does have higher, but he is like so freaked out right now that any rolls he does is at a penalty. So if you want him to roll, I will roll, but know that the NPC rolls are going to be worse.
What about you, Allyn?
Allyn has
What's your
3
deception?
and 3 and 1 bonus in bluff.
Oh, okay. And then Brit slows the horses down, so they're still moving forward. They're just slower now.
Okay.
And he says, "Okay, here's going to be the plan then. We'll say Fern, excuse me, Fern, you'll be the wine manager, and we'll be your workers. We'll deliver the wine to the guards, and you just stay here and not do anything."
Fern's like, yeah, that sounds great to me.
So we'll go talk to him, and we'll keep going.
Okay.
That way we can get rid of the wine, and we can keep the wagon and the horses, and not have to worry about it.
Okay.
Then he
So
looks over to Allyn and says, "If you want a bottle or two, you need to grab them now. We'll dump the rest of them off here so no one will follow us."
Oh, okay. And he will definitely take like 2 bottles and try to hide it in his cloak. We can sell them later if we need the money. He will justify his actions.
Right. If not, they'll keep us warm at night.
Yeah.
okay. So you
Okay.
approach the tower,
Yep.
and you see there's he doesn't look like a gold cloak necessarily. He just looks like
Right.
just a normal soldier, right? And so he doesn't have the lamp. The lamp is actually in the tower itself,
Right.
like so it's kind of like a spotlight a little bit. And he like waves you down as you pass. He's like, "Hold on." He's like, "Inspection." He looks very bored and tired. He's like, "What are
Yeah.
you where are you going so late at night?"
We're delivering these crates of wine.
He's like, "Wine." He's like, "Where are you taking them?"
King's orders. You get a box here at this tower, and then we're going down the road to the next one.
He's like, "We get a box of wine?" He's like,
Yep. For your good work, Allyn says.
he
Brit just
scratched.
looks at the guy and says, "Hey, we just do what we're told, man."
He's like, "Okay. All right, so you should roll your deception now."
Do I get an assist?
Yeah, he can give you a +1.
3d6 plus 1.
Well, who has the best
I got 3.
but he's got bluff,
I have-
so he can roll 46 keep 3 +1.
Okay, cool.
Oh, wait.
Okay. So you give him the wine, and he like opens it, and he's just like, "Okay," and he like sets it aside, and he's like, "All right, have a good night." He just
And then-
Enjoy,
Let
my
you pass.
lords.
Before they leave, Brit looks over at him and says, "Hey, the king had us coming out here, and we didn't have time to grab any torches or anything. Can we take a torch or two?"
He's like, "Yeah, sure," and he goes and walks inside and comes back with like 4 torches, and passes them off to you. He lights one before,
Right.
and he hands it to you.
And then Brit looks back and says, "Hey, that king's kind of crazy, isn't he?"
Just like shakes his head, and he's just goes like this, and just like waves you to leave.
Yep. So Brit hops back up and waits for everyone else to get back on board, and then spurs the horse onward.
Okay. So you take off,
Yeah. Yep.
and so you keep going for, a very, 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 very long time. And are you just gonna try to go through the night?
Yeah. Brit does not want to stop
Okay.
until we get as far away as possible.
So okay. So
Well, at least now we don't have to worry about the wine but still, people are going to be looking for us.
So why don't you do let's do endurance stamina roll for
Okay.
each of you.
It's just rating D6, right?
Yeah. So oh God, you guys are rolling. You're on fire.
Yeah, I like this app.
Oh my gosh. Okay. So
Same rule.
you just power through the night. You're so full of adrenaline that you don't hey, hold on 1 second, will you? I'll
Yep.
be right back. 2 minutes.
Oh yeah, I need a minute to get my dog and cat's feeding time.
Yeah. Okay.
So let's take 5.
Yeah, it's good.
Okay.
Are we back?
Still waiting for Shurijo, I think.
This is. I tried to have a Skype talk with someone today, and it just couldn't work. I don't know why this Google Hangout.
Hangout works better for you?
Yeah.
It's good. Yeah, it's been working pretty good on the Star Wars games we've been playing. So.
Yeah, I started watching today.
Yeah, it was fun. Tuesday we were at it for 4 hours, and it was a lot, but I
Okay.
also was pretty drunk, but by the end. Guess
What
that
are you guys
happens.
drinking right now?
I'm not drinking. I'm drinking water right now. I saw you're drinking some bourbon or scotch, right?
Rye whiskey.
Nice.
Just water too.
Yeah, just water for me right now. Okay, so where were we? Okay, so you are you there, Aegor? I can't see you. I don't know if.
I can hear.
Yeah, I'm here.
Okay, cool. So you go through the night, and so the next day nobody comes up from behind following you. So you keep going, and instead of from in front of you, you see coming from quite a ways away, because it's pretty early morning, a sizable amount of mounted and armored men coming from the way you are going. So they're not coming from behind you,
Right.
and they're flying a flag, a banner, but you're not sure what it is. So roll knowledge heraldry.
Okay. I just have 2.
Neat.
Yeah, I doubt it. Fern might have a good knowledge, right?
Yep.
Has he calmed down since it's been a
He's
night?
calmed down a little bit.
Just ask Fern, whose banner is this? Do you know?
Yeah. He says, yes. He's like, that's Prince Rhaegar Targaryen's personal banner. And so he's like, if this is Prince Rhaegar, I don't know what he'll do. He knows me. I have to hide. He knows who I am.
Brit says, get in your chest.
He's like, I can't fit in that chest. He's like,
Yeah,
I
you're
have.
small. You can get in there. Take the clothes out.
He's like, I'll just hide under the covered wagon. I don't need to get in the chest. He's like,
get in the chest. They're gonna look.
He's like,
they're looking your way.
He goes in the back and he opens the chest, and you just see there's some clothes in there. There's like dishes, forks, spoons, like basically anything with any value that he ever had is in there. He's like, you want me to just dump this out? This is gonna look crazy.
He's like, if you think he knows you, what's more valuable, your life or these dishes?
He's like, well, it looks suspicious, won't it?
Just dump it down on the floor. Quickly, they're coming.
Okay, so he dumps it, and let me see if he can actually get himself in there. Okay, somehow he squeezes in the chest. He shuts it on top. He's like, never talk about this again. And he just shuts it.
Don't say anything. Brit says him. Don't talk.
He's like, okay,
we'll let you know when it's safe.
He's like, okay. And so you start getting closer, and you hear Fern go, what's going on up there? What's going on up there?
Shut up, Fern.
Okay, so you grow close, and you notice that 4 of the you assume they're knights or experienced soldiers. They split off with their horses and come towards you pretty quickly, and they surround the wagon. And one dismounts, and he immediately has his sword drawn, and he walks over to Brit. And I assume you're both in the seat, whatever.
Right.
And he's
And Brit just holds his hands up like
yeah. He's
not-
like, state your business on the King's Road.
it's like we're just heading to the next town.
Like, he's like, what's in the wagon?
Clothes and stuff.
He's like,
some dishes.
he points to Allyn. He's like, show me.
Okay.
Pulls open the wagon canvas and shows him stuff.
So he walks into the back, and one of the other men pulls up a crossbow, and he's pointed at Brit, and so he sees the trunk and all the things just like spewed everywhere. And he's like shakes his head, and you should roll a deception check.
I think I'm going to invest more experience into deception.
The most useful.
You can both. Actually, I want you both to roll deception. So no assist.
Oh, then just it's 17.
Yeah, that's fine.
Subtract the.
That's fine. So he's like this. He's just shakes his head, and he like takes his sword and goes doo doo and knocks it on the chest, just kind of randomly, and somehow Fern doesn't make a noise. Somehow. And so he's like, okay. He's like, I want you to pull your wagon off the road while the prince passes. Now.
Brit nods. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yes, my lord. Allyn says and sits there because he's not driving.
So you pull off, and you're just watching, and you see this guy drive past, and
as we're watching, Brit looks over to Allyn and says, can I get a little bit of that wine?
Sure, but don't let them see you because it's expensive wine. And
well, they can't tell from here, can they?
Nah, you can drink the wine. That's fine.
Okay. Allyn will open
Brit
one bottle and
under his cloak, and then takes a sip, and then passes it back to Allyn.
Okay.
Watch the parade go by.
And so you see this gentleman. You see that token, I assume.
Yep.
You see him gallop by. He kind of looks at you, and looks back, and you see another figure behind him on a horse, riding side saddle because it's a woman, and she has black hair. It's very pale, and she has another strange. She's wearing a sigil, which you do not recognize. So you can roll your knowledge heraldry, see if you know who or what that is. So Brit somehow, who knows how he knows this, but she's wearing a gray and black. It looks like a wolf, a gigantic wolf. And so you know that to be the sigil of House Stark. And so you have no idea what someone from House Stark is doing here right now, but you do recognize that, and they pass and leave you they don't mess with you at all. So and they're far gone now. And Fern goes, "Can I talk now?" He whispers.
Not yet. They're still outside.
He
stay inside.
He clams back up. He's like, "My back really hurts."
He's like, it's almost gone. There's a big army outside, so shh.
Okay, he quiets back down again then. What are you gonna do?
Allyn asks, who is this, the prince's wife? No. This man looks like he should be the king, not that whack job.
Brit just shrugs. He's like, I don't know. that wolf. I know the wolfo. Those are. That's House Stark. They're from way up north near the wall.
Yeah, and it's common knowledge that Prince Rhaegar is married to Ella Martell of Dorne, so that clearly was not her.
Right.
Well, maybe she's just his friend, or he's
Maybe.
fucking her. Who knows?
Brit shrugs. I don't know, but let's get out of here.
Yeah.
Yep, none of our business.
Yeah, so you don't care about the sexual habits of your betters, so Fern, you start going down the road, and Fern's like, "Can I come out now? Did you say something about House Stark?" He's like very interested, obviously, because he's more courtly than both of you.
Brit's driving the horses and looks over to Allyn and says, "Okay, you can let him out now."
Okay, Allyn.
If you want.
Yep. Allyn will go and open the casket and say, "Good job on keeping quiet. You should do that more often."
Fern's like, "Shut up, Allyn, shut up." He's like, "What just happened?" He's like looking out the back of the wagon, like trying to. He's like, "Was that Prince Rhaegar?" He's like, "Was that really
he was
him?"
looking for you. Yep. He mentioned, "Is Fern there?" but we said no, and he just passed by.
He looks at you. He's like, "Are you serious? He asked for me?"
Brit says, "Give him a little bit of that wine and calm him down."
Yep. Allyn gives him some wine.
So you give him some wine, and so you head down the road, and no one ever catches you, and no one ever comes after you, even though you have the wine. Why, you don't really know. It could have been that Prince Rhaegar saw your wagon and told them, there was no wine in there. So who knows? So that was a year and a half ago, and so we're fast forwarding to the future.
Cool.
Woohoo! We escaped.
Yeah.
Okay. So over the last year and a half, you've gotten new jobs in Oldtown. Everything's been, a lot better since you got to Oldtown. There's not been any killing or anything like that. It's even more of an economic center than King's Landing, with the Citadel, and it's almost as big. It's actually quite a bit nicer, to be honest. You all had good jobs, except when you were first in town, Fern was very happy to tell a lot of people that you had escaped King's Landing, and it was horrible and all that kind of thing. And between, among the people you hung out with, it wasn't that big of a deal. But about 3 or 4 months ago, Westeros became, in a civil war started. They're calling it Robert's Rebellion, and it's Robert Baratheon. And about 2 weeks ago, you all had jobs either in the Citadel or in the Tower of House Hightower. So the Reach, which you are part of, are loyalist to House Targaryen. So it became known somehow that the three of you actually were employed with House Targaryen at one time. And so you lost all your jobs, and no one will hire you. And so you are completely broke. No money whatsoever. And even Fern. And he is just like, the biggest baby, because he's living in basically destitution now. And so another couple of things that happened, at least to Brit, is that he got married to a woman named Talisa. And that's her name, right, Shurijo?
Yeah, I think so, yeah.
Okay. And so he got married in a huge mass ceremony that the Septons put on, mostly for the people going to war. And so they all, they just did a mass ceremony for all the soldiers and married a whole bunch of people, and that marriage was a part of it. And unfortunately, she's currently very ill with the pox. And so, it's kind of touch and go, but you have no money. He's very desperate. I don't know about Allyn. What's he been doing for the last year?
He's been employed in the tower, probably just as like before they got fired, or
Yeah. Or both.
uh,
Yeah.
first he was working in the tower as basically a similar job as in Red Keep, just working the dungeons. And after he was fired, he became a gambler, and it went pretty well. But then he lost all his money to some some
Yep.
person who was better at gambling.
Yep. What else has Brit been doing besides getting married and that sort of thing?
I was looking over the benefits, and I was thinking about taking like either a crafting thing or an artist thing.
Yeah, you can if you want.
That way, I know his thing is with dogs, but I'm thinking training with dogs all day, he might get a little bored.
Yeah, whatever you think.
Especially after leaving King's Landing and have to find another job again. He's thinking about going out into the merchant route.
Okay. That works for me.
Is there actually a better merchant one in here? Or something?
Well, like
something
for
like that?
selling goods or for making goods.
Well, I was thinking more of a maker than a seller. He's not a.
Yeah, so I think you just take I think there's like a craftsman benefit, and
Yeah, I was trying.
or armor smith, blacksmith, something like that. You can just make whatever you want, and then we'll go back
Okay.
and retrofit it
There's
however we need to.
Bowyer, like for making bows.
Yeah, you could do that.
Making what?
Bows, like
Oh,
a
yeah.
bowyer.
Bows.
Yeah, that is good. Yep. I'll take that, and that's what.
Yeah,
Brit's
and
been
your
doing.
business was booming because, you the war, so you were making lots of bows for, the Reach Army, and so a couple weeks ago, well, Fern has been he was employed at the tower as well as a bard, and he got kicked out just like the same. And so your business was going very well, and then soldiers returned to Oldtown, some injured, that sort of thing, and they brought the pox with them. And your wife is like a midwife. Well, I guess a midwife's not a healer,
Right.
but basically she bandages people and stuff like that. And she got sick, and so you have no money. None of you do, and so once again, Fern collects you, and he's like skinnier than ever, and he looks just haggard, and he's like, "Come with me to the bar. I've got a lead on where we might make some money." And so it's just like this again, right?
Yeah. Allyn just says, "Okay, any her would help. We're literally starving here." And just stands up and follows him.
Okay. I should have to turn the sound. How loud is that for you guys?
The music is a little bit too loud compared to your voice.
Freaking turn it down. Okay.
Yeah, that's cool.
That's good.
Okay. So so I assume you're gonna go talk with him.
Yes. Oh, and that benefit's called trade.
Okay. Just trade.
So I marked it. I'll email you the
Okay.
updated character sheet.
Yeah, it's fine. So you go into the bar, and he doesn't even buy a drink because he has just about no money. And he sits down, and he's got his head in his hands. He's like, I don't know. I might have a way to get some money, but it's risky.
Brit looks at him and is like, "What this time, Fern?"
He's like, well, there's a merchant, and it's that asshole Boyd. And you all know this merchant, and he is truly an asshole. None of you like him. Yeah, because you've been living in similar conditions as you were in King's Landing. You know, upper low class, and so and Brit has made some bows for him and other things, right? And so the guy's screwed you over on a couple, trade deals where he's not paid you enough, and he's just like, especially with the war, and you're being now an outcast basically. He hasn't given you any money. He owes you money. And Allyn, it was him who you were playing cards against and lost, and he just thought it was hilarious. And so he's been putting you down about taking all your money and putting you on the street. And Fern, he just, badmouths Fern all over town and that sort of thing. So you all definitely don't like this guy already. And Fern's like, we can get that bastard. He's like, he's got a shipment coming in, and he's been selling some wares. Your bows, Brit. He's been selling your bows to the army in the field. And he's coming back with just some gold. It should be lightly guarded. You guys just pop out, knock a few guys out, and we'll just take it and we'll run.
Brit shakes his head. He's like, I have a wife now, and she's sick. I can't be putting her at risk.
Fern's like, she's...
How are you gonna...
Go ahead.
Allyn will say, how are you gonna keep her safe without any money? And this asshole deserves it.
Yeah, Fern's like, he's right. We need to buy her medicine. You can even have my part. He's like, but we have to do something. I'm not even going to be able to eat tonight. I'm going to have to scrounge in the sewers. Me! He's like, me! Scrounge in the sewers and eat. He's like, can you think of anything worse? He's like, I haven't even been able to put on my makeup.
Maybe you should take up male prostitution. I heard that's always popular with the soldiers.
He shakes his head and he's like, shut up, Allyn.
Bird's like, it sounds too dangerous. I mean, what if we get caught?
He's like, what if we do nothing? What are we gonna do? They won't even hire us as stable boys.
We'll have to move. We'll move again.
He's like, Brit, Talisa won't survive. If we move, she will die. I hate to tell you that, my friend.
I think we need to take any opportunity we have, and it seems like this is a perfectly viable one.
So you say we're just gonna knock out some guards and take their gold?
He's like, yeah, there should only be a driver and one guard. It's not going to be a fortune or anything, but it'll be probably maybe a gold total. Probably it's actually in silver, and he might have some other goods that he didn't sell, and we can steal those and sell them. And then once we, get the medicine that she needs, then, we can leave.
But what if those guards recognize us?
We can kill them if we have to.
No, that's too far. Why should we kill innocent guards?
He's like, fine, we'll just knock them out. We can wear masks.
Why don't we just deceive them in some way, or wait until they go and piss or go in a tavern and steal the cargo, or just do something that they won't remember after, or they won't know who did it? Because if they recognize us, then we're basically dead as well.
Sorry, can you repeat that? My bad.
Allyn would say, why don't we just sneak in and take that coin from them, or steal it in some manner that won't allow them to recognize us or have a chance of recognizing us?
He's like, that's fine. Whatever. He's like, I just know the wagon's going to be here tomorrow, and I'm not exactly sure what road it's going to come in on, so we need to find that out first. But if it gets into the city, we're not going to get the money.
How are we going to know which wagon it is? I don't want to end up with another wagon full of wine.
He's like, that's why we need to find out where it's coming from and about what what time, and we can find it.
Who told you about that wagon?
Oh, the rumors. I've been hanging around some of Boyd's associates, and I got a couple of them drunk with my last coppers to find this information out.
Yeah, I say we hit it up.
He's like, Brit, what do you
Brit's
think?
still a little uneasy about it, but he'll go along at least finding part of it for now.
Okay. It's like, well, he's like, how do you? Let's go to my contact and we can ask him.
Let's go.
Okay. So you go across town and you find this dingy bar. It reminds you of Flea Bottom. You haven't been to this part of town in a long time, and when you go inside, it is there's quite a few people there, and there's several soldiers there, and there's one guy with he's completely out of place. He has gold rings and fancy fancy clothes, and he's like laughing and he's talking to these guards, and Fern's like, shit. He's like, my contact's at that table. I don't know why he's talking to those guys. So there's like two soldiers and one very out of place wealthy individual and his contact there at the table. He's like,
Brit, just calm down. Just we'll wait over here.
He's like, well, were we just gonna wait until they leave?
If we have to.
Okay.
Do you know who those people are?
He's like, well, no, I don't know any of those people. He's like,
we'll just have to wait out here then.
Okay. So you wait like an hour, and they're not going anywhere. And Fern's like, we got to know now. We have to go set up and get ready for this wagon, or we're gonna miss it.
This is the times when you should roll up a female character.
Brit says, well, none of us have any money, right?
Not really. Couple coppers, maybe.
Not enough to buy anything.
You could buy like 1 or 2 mugs of the worst thing they have.
Right, and I doubt the wealthy guy is gonna want that.
Yeah, and they're already drinking. They're drinking, pretty decent stuff over there. More than soldier's wage, for sure.
I can pretend I'm drunk, go in and just knock over their drinks, start a trouble, and whisper to your contact to meet you outside while I apologize. And
it's like, they'll kick your ass.
And Brit looks over to Allyn and is like, whoa, yeah, they'll definitely kick your ass. He's like, did he save that other bottle of wine?
That's been a year and a half, no.
Hey, wine ages.
No.
Allyn probably drank it the first night there, seems like.
Okay.
Well, we need to give him a message to come out somehow. But then again, I don't know why would he talk with us when he's clearly talking with.
Yeah, Fern is completely confused because he has no idea who this guy is or why they would be talking to. Basically, he's this contact, and you know him. He's one of Boyd's basically not muscle, but like a very very low ranking like banker type. Essentially, he deals in loans. He's nobody special, but he might know some of Boyd's business. You assume. So you're not sure why he's with these guys though, and the soldiers are they don't have armor on, but they have their swords with them. So.
Well, Fern, it's your idea and your contact, so go in there and bring him out.
Fern's like, me? He's like, those guys could kill me. He's like, you guys at least know how to fight.
All you want to do is talk to the guy.
Like, all right, I'll try. And he walks up, and the the guards like have their backs to it, or the soldiers have their backs to him, and he's like peeks over and he's like, "Excuse me," and they don't say anything, and he's like, "Excuse me," and he just like kind of looks back over his shoulder at you and walks back, and he's like, I don't know what to do." He's like, "One of you are gonna have to go talk to him."
All right, Alan will just say, "Okay, I'll just go there and ask him to come outside and talk with us."
Okay, so you walk in and you're in the same position. They're kind of like they're not in purposely blocking you, but they're just like sitting there laughing, not paying any attention. They're drunk, probably. And so, how are you gonna get his attention?
Uh, he he will yell. Does Alan knows his name?
Yeah, his name is make some. I don't care, whatever.
John.
Okay,
I don't know.
John.
He'll say, "Hey, John, come here. We need to talk to you."
So John looks up and his eyes are like basically crossed because he's so drunk, and he just like leans back and he's like, "What?" He's like, "Oh, Alan." He's like, "Hey, buddy. Come and have a pint."
Brit's with me too. Can he come?
Yeah, come on in. Come, come. And
Um,
the soldiers kind of like step aside to actually allow you towards the table. The
yeah.
the rich guy kind of looks at you kind of funny, but he doesn't do anything.
Alan will sit at the table and say, "Hello,
Okay.
Jan. Hello, my lord."
He's like, "Ah." He's like, "Another one for the party." He's like, "Let's get these guys some ale." And so the wench brings over the ale and sits it down for you two and hands one over to Fern, and he's just like, "Gulp, gulp, 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 gulp." And he's just like grabbing his stomach because he was just so hungry, so he was putting anything in his stomach he could.
Yeah, Brit takes
And
a drink of his beer, but or ale, but he doesn't chug it. Oh,
Okay.
Alan
and
will
he
say, "My name is Alan. This here is my friend Brit, and this gentleman is Fern. Who might you be?"
You're saying this to the rich dude?
Yeah, well, not that formal, but like he would just
Yeah.
try to get
Yeah. The
name
soldiers
through.
introduce themselves. You know, they don't seem like they're probably normal people like you. Just they're just they're conscripted or something. Who knows? And so the rich guy, he like steps back and he's like, "Oh." He looks at you. He's like, "My name is I gotta think of a name for him." um, he's like, "My name is Lionel Crane," and so he has a surname, so that means he's actually affluent. He's like, "I'm a merchant." He's like, "Who are you?" "Oh, you're Alan, but and you're Brit, but how do you know John here?" "John's coming to work
With
for me."
Oh, really? Well, he's a fine gentleman. He'll do you honor. We used to do business with him, and his, I assume, ex-employer.
"Oh yes,
So
that that bald, double-chinned fool, Boyd. He's such a low-class man."
did he? Cool. Did he cross you over because he cheated out a significant amount of coins from me in cards as well?
He's like,
and Brit nods his head.
"Well, he didn't cheat me so much, but he's just been a pain in my side for a very long time."
And we could assume you are kind of competition, right? That you have conflicting interests.
"Oh, well, he doesn't bother me too much in that regard. He sells terrible, terrible supplies, where I am more of a man that sells to the nobility, the knights, the lords, the ladies. So, can you guys roll a awareness empathy?" So it's a 6 and a 9.
Yeah.
So Allyn notices that he is not being exactly truthful. You're not sure what's going on, but he's not telling you the whole truth.
Oh, I see. But even the lowly people, like Jon, can be a thorn in the side of important people such as yourself.
He's like, I agree.
Uh,
He's like, I agree. Yes.
and hypothetically, would you be grateful to a pair of people, to a group of people that would uh, rob him of some of his ill-gotten gains?
Oh, you're speaking of Boyd. Well, not exactly. He's like, come here. He leans into Allyn. He's like, what I want you, he whispers this to you. And he says, what I would like you to do is actually take this fool standing right here. And he nods at Jon and maybe go stab him in the side and dump him in the sewers. And if you do that, I will pay handsomely for that because the thorn in my side is sitting right here.
You wait. He's talking about the contact, Fern's contact, right?
Yes.
Oh, well, he's our friend. We don't exactly.
So are you saying this to him?
No, Allyn would just look at Brit awkwardly and
I wasn't able to hear that, was I? Or
No.
Okay.
We'll actually do a
No.
do awareness notice. We'll do that. It's gonna be kind of tough, so you got to get a 12. Ah, there you go. So you did overhear basically what he said.
okay. Allyn will say, we'll just nod and tell Jon, can you please come outside? I need to show you something.
The guy's like, he's like, John's staying here with me. We're having a good time, aren't we, John? He's like, yeah. He's like, I'm having a great time. He's like, oh man, I even got a meal. And he's just like, he's not going anywhere.
Okay. But Allyn would say, like, approve, like, to the merchant, to
Oh, you're
Ososizan
agreeing?
Clay.
He's like, okay. He's like, one of my associates here will go with you, and he'll show you where to dump it. And he slaps one of the soldiers on the shoulders, and he just kind of nods, and he's like, hey, John, let's go. And John's like, oh, okay. And he gets up and kind of staggers towards the soldier and Allyn, and it's like, where are we going?
We are going to see a person you might be interested in.
Oh, he's like, okay. He's like, okay. He's like, I had the best meal today. And he starts walking towards the door.
And the soldier is following us?
Yes. He's walking. He's actually helping John stand.
Oh, okay. Well, what's gotta be done, gotta be done. Oh, he'll just follow the soldier.
Okay. Actually, roll a deception for me. And since Allyn was doing most of the talking, Brit can just assist with a +1. Okay.
Oh, that's 15.
Yep. You're good. So you walk out, and the soldier's like takes you deeper into the rougher parts of Oldtown. So, and he's just like nods to this little alleyway, and he's like, go in there and do it. And like John's like, oh, we're in a really bad spot of town. What are we doing here?
Yeah. Can we? Okay. Is there like a crowd there?
There's light traffic on this main road. The alleyway is completely, it's late afternoon. The alleyway, there's nobody in the alleyway. But there are people walking. There's houses nearby with just like shanties. Tiny shacks.
Okay, Allyn will take out the dirk, dirk, and quickly try to nab the guard in the
Okay.
neck.
All right.
Yeah.
So go ahead and roll. Let's do quickness. Let's do agility quickness first of all.
Okay.
So you go
That
to grab your dirk and come after the guard, and he like steps back and draws his sword. So we're gonna do combat. I'm not gonna use a map for this. I don't think we need to. So everybody roll agility and quickness. You already did yours at 7, so we'll just go ahead and roll again. We'll do a different one for initiative.
Okay, so what's the situation now? Who's on the field?
So so Allyn tried to pull his dagger out on the guard.
On the guard, okay.
On the guard, and the guard he did not succeed, and so we're going to just normal combat. Fern's just like and like grabs John and pulls him away, and John's like, "What's going?" Blah! And just starts puking. So it's you two versus the soldier.
Okay.
I have the danger sense quality.
Yeah.
And that says reroll 1s on initiative.
Okay, so you roll 2 1s.
So it's agility, right, for initiative?
Yeah, agility, quickness.
Okay.
So basically, this would be like 5, 3, and 5.
Yep.
So 13.
13, 11, and he's gonna roll. All right, let's just do a roll yours. What's your you don't have any bonus dice, right? So neither of us have any bonus dice. So let's just roll again, and whoever gets the highest will go first.
Okay.
Okay. So he takes back his sword and he immediately swings it at Allyn. Clearly, so. So what's your combat defense?
10.
So he swings, you duck underneath the sword, and he whiffs. So now it's Brit's turn. And you can have your club out, that's fine.
Okay, I'm just getting over to the actions. I think I know what I'm gonna do. I just want to check and see if it's the lesser or greater.
Oh. Yeah, I just say he moved and swung or something to take his other lesser action away.
Okay, well, move would be a lesser, and then
yeah. You don't have to move. You're in range to hit him.
Now I was looking up the knockdown. Is that
yep.
Is that a greater or a lesser?
Knockdown is a lesser.
Okay, yeah, I'm gonna do the lesser. Do a move and a knockdown.
You don't have to move. So you can.
Well, you can't if you move and do a knockdown.
Okay.
Then you actually do something different. I just can't find that right now.
I think it just gives you a bonus, right?
Yeah, I think it gives you a bonus. Oh, here we go.
I should know this from the Blood for Gold game, where it was just like knockdown, 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 knockdown. Do you remember that, Aegor? It was funny. Where the hell is it though?
There it is.
That was a private strategy.
Okay, so I
it was private?
a fighting test against the opponent's passive. Okay, my fighting is only 3.
Yep. But you're using bludgeoning, so
athletic. Oh no, it's not. That's knockout. Knocked down. Is that athletics?
Yeah, athletics and.
So I got 46 on that.
Yep.
And then you get a +2.
It's versus passive what? Agility?
Yes.
Okay, so you got to beat a 12. And he has armor on, so... Oh, you beat it. So you knock him down.
I get a +2 because I moved with it.
Yep, so you just lower your shoulder and just ram into him and knock him on his back.
Yeah.
And so it is Alan's turn.
Okay,
He's-
I
he's-
for some reason
He gets
have
-5 to his
bonus
combat defense.
Okay, yeah. And do I get +1 test dice because he's knocked down?
No, I think when you're prone, you get just -5 to your combat defense. I
Oh,
think. Is that right?
I think so.
It should say in knockdown. I think it actually is where it says.
It actually says in. Oh. It says he fall prone, but he doesn't say what prone.
Anybody get their PDF up and they can just.
Yeah, I do, but I'm just trying to find.
Oh, here we go. When you're knocked prone, you must spend a lesser action to stand up. Opponents gain +1 test die on fighting against you while you're knocked down. Yeah, so you get an extra test die.
cool.
And there's no combat defense change.
No, because
Okay.
if he had -5, he'd have 0. So it makes sense that he gets another test die, and it's not his combat, because combat defense is not very high. So you rolled 18. Oh no, that was Brit's.
Yeah, that was me.
So 18.
Yeah.
So you did roll an
Cool.
18. So
He has also.
that's
I like this dice
Oh,
roller.
that's 3 degrees of success. What's your damage with the dirk?
Oh well. I think that's in the sheet. Just a second.
Yeah, it's probably 2 or 1.
Dirk is. Sorry.
No, it's fine.
It's 1.
So it's really just 1.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's, I think agility -2. So.
Do you have like a dagger or something that you attack with instead of the dirk?
Well, I have like 4 and then 2 bonus dice in pole arms, and I have just a dirk and a peasant tool.
Okay. So I'm gonna. Yeah.
I think dirk is actually higher than the dagger. I have. Here it is. Yeah, it's 2.
Oh, that's 2. So that's 6. So you bring your dagger down, and he like brings his arm up, and you just like cut him across the forearm, and he's like, "Oh, God," he's like, "I'm gonna kill you." And it is his turn. So he uses a lesser action to get up, and another lesser action to try to kill Allyn. So what's your? It's 9 or is it 10? Your combat defense.
Combat defense 10.
Okay, so that's a hit. What's your what armor do you have on? What's your armor rating?
1 padded armor.
So you take 3 damage. So he swings his sword and it cuts you across the shoulder.
Cool.
Brit?
Brit goes for another knockdown.
Okay.
And this time, you can't really aim with that, can you?
No. It's an athletics roll. But what you could do,
Yeah.
you could knock down, you could attack while he's down on the ground. So you get +1
Yeah,
test
I'll do a knockdown and then I'll punch him in the face.
Okay. You have your club, so you could
Okay.
club him.
Okay, and then knockdown is agility again. So
No, well, it's your athletics against his passive
or
agility.
athletics, yeah.
So you got to beat a
Uh-huh.
12. So you don't get the +2 this time. Holy crap, you guys are rolling insane.
I told you I like this dice roller.
Yeah, I guess. Okay, so you knock him down. You knock him on his back again. He just starts cussing. And he's like, "You scumbags, I'm going to get up and kill you." And then you can attack him.
Okay, my club does 3
Yeah, this
D
3.
plus.
But what's your
1.
what's your fighting's 3, and do you have a club specialty? I think you do, right? Or bludgeoning.
Yes, I do.
So you roll 4, keep 3.
Okay. So that's 3d6.
Oh, actually, you roll That's not right. You roll 5, keep 4 because you get +1 test dice because he's prone.
Oh, good. Okay, so roll 5d6, keep 4.
Yep. So 13 versus 5, that's 2. Your damage is 3.
Yes.
So you bring your club down and you slam him right on the chest, and he just starts going, knock the breath out of him. So, but he's not dead, clearly. Allyn?
Well, Alan would just look to Brit and say, "He did you hear when he told me to kill Jon?"
Brit
Uh,
nods his head. Yeah. So is this guy knocked out or is
No,
he?
no. He's still
Oh, okay.
alive.
Okay.
oh, I thought he was still
No,
alive.
he's
Okay.
taken 3 damage.
Oh,
No,
okay.
he's taken
Then,
5 damage. 5 damage.
Yeah, yeah.
okay, Alan will just try to hit him again with his
Okay,
knife.
you want to aim?
Yeah.
So take your bonus dice for aim.
And he's still prone, right?
Yep.
So that would be 6d6, keep 5.
Yeah, that sounds right. Okay, so that is that's 2 degrees again. So that's 4. So that's
4.
Yeah, you swing down into his armor and it just goes clunk against a piece of metal. You don't get through it. So he gets up again, and he just takes his sword and just swings it as hard as he can at Allyn again. And since he can't do a greater action, it's just the same attack. So what it was 2, right? Your armor? AR was 2?
1.
1. Okay. So he rears back, swings, and you take another deep gash on your hip. So I think you have 6 damage, 6 wounds now?
That's, yeah, okay. So he has 3 left.
Okay. So he's cutting you up. Brit?
Brit's
Okay.
turn.
Brit is going to do a pin move.
And don't you have to grapple him first, though?
Oh, you're right. You have to be in a grapple first. Okay. Let's see what it.
You could just try to aim and knock his head off.
Yeah, I'll do that. Just do a lesser aim and then a lesser attack.
Okay. So so you roll 5 and keep 3, I think.
Where does the 5 come from?
So you have 1 bonus, so that you start with your attribute, okay?
Right, which is 3.
Which is 3. Then you get 1 for your bonus.
Okay.
Or, I'm sorry, you get 1 for your bludgeoning, and then you get 1 for aim. So that's how you get 5, and you can never go above your attribute. So you can never roll 7k3 usually.
Okay, so it's
A wound you can, but that's different. You actually
roll 5.
Yep, roll 5, keep 3. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Okay. So that is actually that's 3. So that's 9 minus 4. Okay, so he's facing Allyn, and you just take your club and you just crack him in the back of the head, and you just see a dent just go into the back of his head, and he just drops. And then the people that are walking around are like screaming and running in their houses, and yeah, it's not good.
Yeah. Brit looks is like, what are we doing?
Fern's like, we gotta get out of here. We gotta go hide.
Calm down. Just
Fern is not calming down. He's like, you just killed that guy in the middle of the city.
Yeah, because his boss told me to kill you.
To kill me? Fern's like, why would he want to kill me? Why would anyone want to kill me?
I don't know.
And John is just laying in a puddle of his own puke.
Oh no, I thought I was speaking with Jon.
Oh, okay. Well, that's fine. But yeah, John's completely passed out, unconscious, and Fern is
Is that guy dead or is he just knocked unconscious?
The guy you hit with the club?
Yeah.
You don't know for sure, but it doesn't. I mean, you caved in his skull at least a little bit. So it did. I mean, you hit him with such force that he probably is dead. You can actually decide if he's dead or he's alive, if you want. So it's up to you, honestly. But he ain't getting up anytime soon.
Okay. Brit takes his club and he tosses it over where John is laying in his puke,
Okay. Okay.
and then says,
Allyn
"We got to get out of here."
All right.
uh,
Fern's like, I agree.
Allyn
Let's
will
go.
just a second. Maybe Allyn will say we can go back. Say that Jon killed the guard while he was struggling, and we can tell him we killed Jon.
Oh,
That way, no one will chase us. No one.
Fern's
will...
like, no way. We go back there. They're gonna arrest us. They're gonna arrest us.
Yeah, it's too dangerous. Brit says.
Okay.
We're in enough trouble right now.
We can run, but then he will also chase us.
Well, at least have a head start. We don't want to go back there.
Yep. So let's go. Where are we going?
He's like, I don't know. Where should we go? He's like, we should find that wagon.
We can skip town again.
Brit shakes his head.
Maybe go to Lannister.
Yeah, I don't think Brit's gonna want to skip town.
No, Brit's like, no, we just can't leave. My wife is sick.
He's like, wait, does that guy have any money? So Fern like rifles through his pockets, and he actually has like 5 silver. The guard does.
How much is? I mean,
5 silver. It would probably feed you for all 3 of you for probably a week, and your wife for a week. But it's probably not good enough to buy the medicine your wife needs.
Okay. So for Brit, what's to get the medicine that his wife needs? What's the end game on that? How much gold does he need for
probably like 2 gold.
2 gold. Okay.
Something like that. Fern is like, you just should have killed him. Now look at this.
We can. Only things that I'm thinking about right now are either lying to that merchant guy or skipping town, but that's not possible, or killing him, or hiding.
He's like, well, let's just kill him, and then maybe we can negotiate about the guard. He probably doesn't care about that guy.
But what do we have to offer in only Jon's life?
We can take less money.
So you're saying we should just admit to killing the guard and go back there?
Maybe, I don't know. What do you think?
Brit's just, he's shaking his head. He's like, I don't know what I've got myself into. This is over my head.
He's like, well, I didn't expect this. Allyn's the one that attacked him.
I think we should go back and do as I told you before. Tell the merchant that Jon killed the guard while he was resisting.
He's like,
but is the guard even dead?
I'm not certain, but we can finish him off easily.
Fern is like, he's gonna believe that this drunk asshole killed this guard? Really?
Well, you know, drunk people are strong.
He looks at him and he's like, he couldn't even stand. This guy's a trained fighter. Look how he cut you up.
Oh, yeah. Well, we have to do something, and I really think that's the best course of action for us right now.
He's like, well, okay. I mean, he leaves it up to you guys.
Brit, what do you think?
Brit's like, I have a bad feeling about this. I don't know what to do. think we've gotten ourselves in too deep. We can't get out.
All it takes is one simple lie. It's not that hard to believe that a guy who was on the verge of death would smash the head of the guy who was holding him.
He's like, where did he get a club? He's like, I don't know,
He
Allyn.
grabbed
He's
a rock.
like, we could go, but I don't feel good about it either. He's like, I think we should just, I don't know. I think we should either just do the deed or we should run.
Where are we gonna run to? Brit asked Fern.
He's like, I don't know.
We can't exactly run away from town, and I certainly can't kill poor Jon over here. Look at him, he's pathetic.
He's like, I don't want to
At
kill him
least this
either,
guy
but
died.
I mean, what are we I don't know what to do. He's like, wait. And he rifles through John's pockets now, not expecting to find anything. But he finds like a little note about what, where the wagon is actually. He's like, oh, look at this. It's the shipment information. He's the only one that could read out of all three of you. And he's like, it's where the shipment is. I know it. He's like, let's go get that wagon. And he's like, then we can escape with the money.
Okay.
Brit says that's the best idea I've heard in the last minutes.
Okay. Let's do that.
All right. So you just leave them down there, and you go out to it's a side road into the town, and you wait there all night and into the morning, and coming down the road, sure not, here comes a wagon, and the wagon, the information seems pretty good. There's one driver, or it's actually a driver and a guy next to him, and it's a covered wagon just like you had before, those years before. And he's like, well, what do we do? What do we do? There's a couple trees you're hiding behind or whatnot.
We can stage an ambush.
He's like, okay. He's like, and you can say Brit you took the club if you want, and your bow, you have all your weapons.
Okay.
But
do we have masks?
If you wanted to pick up masks, you could get masks.
Yeah, Brit definitely wants to have a mask, or at least a bandana type.
Yeah, you probably get like a sack and cut like eyes.
Right.
I mean,
Brit says, "Well, I could shoot the horse or the driver."
He's like, just shoot the driver. We'll take the wagon and the horses. They're worth a lot of money. That's what Fern says.
Yes, I think you should definitely shoot the driver. Then I can charge the other guy.
Okay, Brit pulls his notches an arrow and then pulls it back and fires it at the driver.
Okay, roll your marksmanship. I think that's 6K4 for you.
Yeah, so
You can take an aim too, so you can do 7K4.
Yeah. So roll 7, keep 4.
Yep.
Then let's see. Is there anything? Okay, yeah.
That might be the worst roll I've ever. That didn't work. That wasn't right.
Yeah, I was like that.
Oh, you forgot the
I
6.
forgot mine. Yeah, 6. Yeah.
I was like, that's the worst roll in the history of rolls. It's like ones, all ones.
There we go.
So you shoot, and the arrow just goes straight through the guy's neck, and he just falls out of the cart. And the other guy's like, just like throws up his hands. He's like, hey. He's like, don't kill me, don't kill me.
Allyn will just rush towards the other guy and smack him over the head.
Okay, you smack him over the head, and he falls down. And he just like covers his head. He's not completely knocked out, but he's just like, okay. And he's just like laying there, and he's like delirious. He's essentially out of it. He's not knocked out cold.
Brit says, take his weapon.
He just has a small sword that you can take. It's no big deal.
Okay, Allyn would take his weapon and say, come on, let's go. Climb.
So Fern runs up there, and he's like, yes. He's like, we did it, and he,
You especially.
yeah, he's like, we work so well as a team.
Brit says, "Be quiet, be quiet. We're not done yet." And Brit jumps up there and takes the reins and
Okay,
drives off the wagon.
okay. So as you're driving off, you hear
Allyn,
this. Good.
Allyn will just kick the guy who is like the other guy and his dead
Okay.
body somewhere secluded
Okay,
while they are driving.
that's fine. So as you're driving, you hear this strange like sound coming out of the back of the wagon because Fern's like holding on to the side, standing next to Allyn on the cart. He's like, "What is that noise?" He's like, "That sounds weird."
Brit looks over, he's like, "Allyn, check it out."
Allyn goes back and looks what it is.
So you hear as you get back there, wah, wah, and in this like little basket is this baby, and there's no money. There's a bunch of straw and a basket and a baby, a red-headed baby.
Hey Brit, we have a baby and nothing else.
A baby.
Here, no gold, no money. Yes, a small baby.
Brit looks at Allyn and says, and he looks at Fern. Fern's like, "What's this?
Fern's like, "It's a baby."
Where's the gold? This is."
He like rifles through the straw. He's like, "There's nothing here. There's a baby. That's it."
Why is there a baby in a wagon?
Fern, it's like,
I have no idea.
Don't know. We need to talk to John.
John is on the side of the street, and there's a dead guard next to him. We're not going to talk to John again.
He's like, "That's where I got this information from." And that's it.
That's little Colin.
There's no gold. There's nothing back there. Except
There's
the
no
baby.
nothing.
We can probably say the guy's dead, so I don't know. Do we know where John lives, or we can?
Yeah, you know where John
assume?
lives. But that's it for this session for me. But
Okay.
yeah, but we can pick this up. I don't have a problem with that. We can continue if we want with these guys, and so yeah.
Well, we still got to get out of town. That's going to be part 2, right?
Whatever you guys want to do. Because your wife's still sick, right? And
Yeah, I know.
And you still don't have
need
any money. And now you have a
We
baby.
still don't have any money. Okay, well. Okay, that was fun. That's the first time I've actually role played with real people in forever.
Yeah,
Cool,
it's I hadn't done it since like high school until I did
Yeah.
a couple of months ago here, and I really enjoyed it. So because everybody's pretty serious, and it was good. So I ran a game, and another guy ran a game, so it was pretty good.
Right. Like if we were doing this game on the forums, this would have been like 2-3 months worth of posting.
Yeah, that's the problem with play by post. It's so slow. Right? Yeah,
I mean,
this
it's
would
nice
take me
reading
forever.
everything.
It's nice when you're busy, but if you have like 2 hours, or even an hour, you can pump some stuff out. So,
Yeah.
but
You should. We should post a little log on the forums, like a game
just a little
summary.
write up. Yeah,
Yeah, nothing huge, just a
maybe
couple
do that for
paragraphs.
Star Wars too. I mean, I'll post this to the YouTube channel too, but
Yeah. But sometimes some of these videos are so long, like a 3-hour Star Wars one.
Yeah, it's long.
Yeah.
I edited out probably 45 minutes of it too.
Wow.
Just like talking about rules and
Yeah, you can trim all this, cut all this part here off.
Yep, and I actually forgot the first 15 minutes, so I'm gonna like do a little intro video of me just being like, "This is who the characters are," because I think I forgot to hit the record button, but
Yeah.
so yeah.
I think I know who the redheaded child is.
Maybe.
Yeah. So,
you know who I think
guys.
Fern should be? When you kept talking about Fern, you know who I kept thinking of?
Who?
Zeb.
Zeb. Who's Zeb?
He owned the
Oh, yeah, the fat supposed Pentoshi.
yes.
Zeb. Yeah, that's interesting. That could be
What if
Zeb.
Fern, changed his name and alias and everything?
Yeah, and Allyn too. Who knows who he is?
Yeah, who knows who Allyn is? Yeah.
So, yep.
Okay, guys, thanks for running that.
Yep.
I had a
Yep.
great time, but it's
We'll play
2
again.
a.m. here.
Yep.
Actually.
All right.
Sleep.
Yeah, I gotta go
Yeah,
too.
thanks.
So, yep. I'll
Okay.
talk to you
Bye-bye.
guys tomorrow.
Okay, bye.
Bye.